Well, we're rolling for the first ever episode of the Geller Theory.
The theory portion of truck driving school is to give him the nuts and the bolts of what truck driving is. Rules, regulations, time. All that stuff has to play a part into trucking. It's not just about backing the truck up. They have to know what to expect when they get to a new job, along with what's coming up for them in the next few weeks at truck driving school.
How does the state and the federal work together?
As far as learning, they put out this ELDT training, which is the entry-level driver training, federally mandated. They want the schools to be teaching the ELDT by a certified instructor, which I am.
It's almost a 2-for-1 kind of a deal here. They can take that ELDT test as part of their FleetForce training.
Right. It's our final assessment. At the end of their 40-hour training in the classroom, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, I'm giving them a standardized test that gets them certified. It's a statute that I end up signing off, which is the certificate of written examination. And that gets sent over with the rest of their training to the state. In order to move out to the track, they're taking my test and passing it. And then they're mock testing them out on the track on road and skills.
Okay.
So what they've learned out there, they have to be signed off on as well as in here.
Okay.
Before they're able to take the CDL test.
So you're a precursor to them even stepping foot in the cab.
Without me, they can't even get out to the track.
And some of that, I'm sure, is probably for safety, right? You got to make sure that people understand before they turn the key and drive that truck, they got to have a certain base level understanding. They
have to have a foundation in order to move forward. I mean, without this foundation, you'd be going into truck driving blind.
This isn't just a skills course, right? You don't just show up at FleetForce, jump right in the cab.
We're learning how to use atlases and maps. We're learning how to use logs. We're learning how many hours we can run in a day. We're learning about lights. We're learning about bridges. We're learning, you name it.
I imagine, and from what I've heard out on the track here in Bradenton, that first week can be kind of scary for some people.
The first few days, everybody comes in and they're, right? They don't know what to expect. They don't know what's coming down the pipe. They have no idea about anything. My first job, first and foremost, is to create a safe atmosphere for them. Okay? I want to create a place that they can come and they can feel like they're part of something bigger. Okay? The end result being the CDL. I'm spending a lot of my first day getting them to trust me, warm up to me, start to feel like I'm not going to lead them in the wrong direction. I'm not going to leave them behind. They're not going to fail the test. Don't worry. Anything I have to do to make sure, if I have to come in on my off time and work with you myself, I'll come in and I'll work with you myself till you get it. So lose all those fears. By the end of the first day, we're laughing, we're giving high fives, we're having a good time. You can already see from my classroom photos that I've sent that everybody's having a good time here. They need to want to come to school in the morning. I'm not looking for the guy who's going to be late. The guy who comes in because he's been around a truck on a loading dock or whatever, pretty much forget anything you ever heard or you ever knew and let's start fresh. Because I'm giving you the foundation you're going to need for the rest of your career in trucking. Everything I have, they're not going to forget until they're done trucking. Go to the Google reviews and go way back to when we first started. And the student is like, man, you changed my life, man. I was working at the 7-Eleven. And now, we just bought a new car. I'm putting a down payment on a house. If you didn't give me that training, man, I wouldn't be where I am today. I just want to thank you. I speak to people to this day. There are 2 jobs in America where you can get a license and go to work. One is being a nurse. The second one is being a professional driver. There is a huge shortage of truck drivers right now, and there's a huge shortage of nurses.
We're starting to turn people towards that statement. Both those jobs, important jobs, frontline type workers, keeping the economy rolling. For us to have food on the table, for us to be able to go to the grocery store and get things off the shelf, this is a job that has to be filled, so it's an important job. And I look forward to talking to you more about that in the future, Howard, so it's been a pleasure. This is the Geller Theory, episode 1.
Right on, dig it.